Wrestle Story. We discuss all things wrestling's legend passage, superstars of the present, and the trailblazers of the future. We stream every Monday after Raw, every Wednesday after AEW and NXT, and every Friday after SmackDown.
That was horrible.
It was.
By
the way, Colin, don't ever say anything about it because I knew you were going to.
That was horrible.
Yeah.
That was awful. That was the worst intro I've ever seen.
Sorry, man. No,
Heard.
it's not.
Okay, it's probably probably close to it. Probably close to the worst intro I've ever seen.
One of the top two.
One of the top two.
Yes.
That was not good.
No.
But hello.
Hello,
folks.
Great American Bash.
You're really short.
Fyter Fest. It's because I'm a short dude.
You're like very short.
Yeah.
And like taller than you.
Yeah, I'm shorter than you. There, is that better?
Yes.
How's that?
So, both shows tonight were actually pretty good. Don't have a lot to complain about, but I do have a lot to complain about.
Don't have a lot to complain about, but we have a lot to complain about. But they were really good, so we're going to complain a lot about them.
They were good. Both shows were good, and I did enjoy both shows. I thought they both had really... Okay.
They both had really okay.
I
Thank you, Adam, for being a great champ and passing the torch to Keith Lee.
I don't want to say that they...
So is Adam leaving, or is he going up? Or I shouldn't say up. Is he going over to Raw or SmackDown?
I guess we'll talk about that. We'll have to get to that. And we're going to talk about that kind of in the beginning here, because we're going to talk about NXT first. I will say, both of them had solid cards. Solid.
Okay, let me see this. Apparently we have 10 can sound.
That's
so
nice.
Fix it.
They had solid cards, but I think AEW's was better than NXT's. Yeah. That's what we're going with here.
Yes.
So hello, people. Hello, observing stuff. Hello, Zandel.
Does that sound
hello.
better, Mrs. Gleen?
How's it hanging? Hello, Mrs. Gleen, because you're obviously watching too. Hi, how's it going? So yeah, we're gonna start with NXT, cause why not? So
Double sound going on. We're trying to fix it.
better. He said better.
Okay.
Better. See, better.
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 All right.
All right. We start off with the Candice and Mia Yim street fight.
Yeah, it's better. We made some changes on our computer, and so anyway, we made changes on the computer, so with everybody that streams on it, and so some of the settings got messed up, and so just fixing the settings is...
It's kind of, root fixing.
NXT was amazing. Hope you all are doing well. We are doing well, Scott.
Doing very well. NXT was good.
By the way, hello, everybody.
I did like this week's NXT. So I think the start and the end was good, but the middle of NXT is what brings it down. I don't care about your feelings shirt. Yes. I don't care about your
stupid
feelings. You missed the word stupid. You gotta get it. I don't care about your stupid feelings. That's the shirt I'm wearing today. So, haven't worn it in a while. So I decided to pull it out and wear it today. So.
Show the back of your shirt.
Oh. I don't know what it says.
It says I am the man.
Sweet.
You don't know what the back of your shirt says?
No, I don't. I am the man. Here, I'll just sit like this for the rest of the show.
Maybe you should.
Accurate.
Well, maybe you should, like.
I don't know what the back of my hair looks like, so that's probably a bad idea because I have a pin.
Wear your shirt backwards sometimes. I mean, that's what it says.
You are the man, Maven. Yes, I am. Anyways, so yes. Hello, dude. I hate this stupid thing. I wish these.
I'm sorry. It's.
I wish the seats wouldn't come with those on them. Like mine doesn't have the arm bars.
How you doing?
Yours does. Anyways, hello. How's it going? NXT. Candice and Mia Yim. That's what we're trying to talk about here. These two had an epic street fight. Epic arm bars. Yeah, the bars on the seat. Mine doesn't have that, but his does. And so they like poke me when I'm sitting here, and it's annoying. So arm rests, whatever. Arm bars, arm rests. I mean, they might as well be the same. I mean, I know an arm bar is a totally different thing than, but whatever. Close enough.
Yeah, close enough.
It's close enough.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
NXT. Candice and Mia Yim had one heck of a street fight. It was good, honestly. Really cool spots. Fire extinguishers were all like faces. It was great. Dude, Candice won with like a spinning neck breaker off the top rope into a pile of chairs. It was epic. So epic. Really good match to start the show. Candice won. I'm honestly fine with it. If we're trying to build her up as like a credible threat to potentially go after the title here soon, I think she the win.
I didn't like it.
Like her winning?
Yeah.
Oh, Maven's sporting the butterfly eyes. Oh yeah. I have.
It's a ladybug.
No, it's not. The butterfly.
A butterfly. Sorry.
I have crazy stuff in my
about
eyes.
the main event. Yeah.
Cause I'm doing a thing that today. Candice and me thought it was really
Yeah.
good match. Really good match. Great street fight. I think Mia should have won. She's more fit for a street fight. While I do agree with that, I think that Candice winning makes more sense just because trying to build, like, she's trying to be built up to be this like legitimate, credible threat, and she hasn't really done anything that's made her credible or legitimate, you know. So she needed to win something because she lost the last match she had against Yim, didn't she?
I think so.
She didn't lose to Yim, but she did lose the match. It was the 6-woman tag at In Your House, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Right. And Tegan and what's her face, Shotzi. It was Mia's team that won. So I don't know. I'm cool with it. Whatever. Good match, regardless. Loved the end, the spinning neck breaker into the chairs. It was great. We then have Bronson Reed versus Tony Nese. Why? I don't know. This is kind of where I was lost. You know, didn't really care much. Because it's like, what is this match for? It's just another random thrown together match. Like, I don't care. Bronson Reed won. They're building him up too. He had his match against Cross a couple weeks ago.
And Tony Nese has fallen off the map.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. So, I don't know the purpose of this match. I don't know why we needed to do this, but we did. Whatever. So yeah.
I'll be back for the AEW part. I didn't watch AEW. It was good.
So, I don't know. I just, whatever. Read one.
Yeah.
Whatever. NXT had more fillers. That's the problem with NXT right now, is a lot of what they're doing is filler content, and it's not anything that anybody cares about whatsoever, and it's just pointless. And it really makes the show just like, makes me not want to watch it, you know? Makes it kind of just like whatever and bleh. Makes me not care, you know?
Yeah.
You know? So after this, Robert Stone announced earlier today or yesterday or both, whatever, that he had a huge new acquisition to the Robert Stone brand. He has a new signee, and he's going to announce it on NXT. So it's not really him announcing that he has a new signee. It's more of him asking Shotzi Blackheart to join him, and then she declined, and then Killian Dane shows up out of nowhere. For what reason, I have no clue. He showed up out of nowhere, beat Robert Stone up, threw him into the wall. Robert Stone was then laying on the floor, and then Shotzi Blackheart ran over him with her tank. So,
how you doing, Cody?
It was like, yeah, whatever. I don't know where Killian Dane came from. Like, what is it with Killian Dane?
Well, the thing I don't like.
I don't get it.
Well, I mean, that's fine. But the thing I don't understand is all the. I mean, there's no build up to a lot of this.
Which is why I just don't care, and it's like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
You know.
Congrats to Sarah Lewis. Yes.
Oh, Robert threw something and it hit Killian Dane. Okay, well that makes sense, I guess, but it's still really random. So yeah.
Who's Robert Stone gonna get to come beat up Killian Dane?
He's gonna attempt to beat him up himself.
No, he's not.
And then he's gonna proceed to lose.
He's gonna get somebody that he's gonna manage.
And then he might bring somebody in. Ah, you got me, man. Ever since
Maybe.
losing Chelsea Green, he's really just been a loser. And, like, Chelsea Green hasn't been doing anything either, so I think they're both losers
Maybe
at this
he's gonna
point.
manage Nyla.
Somebody on Twitter said that, and I died laughing. I was like, dang. They're like, I got it. Robert Stone is gonna manage Nyla Rose.
That's it.
It's
We figured it out.
dang, man. Who would have thought?
That's why she didn't have the person with her tonight, because he was on NXT.
Beth's comment about Robert Stone wearing tight pants kept him from getting hurt. What? Oh, man. So, yeah, that was that. All I could do is laugh at this because it was just stupid. Shotzi ran over him with this tank, and I thought that was funny because Robert Stone was, like, on the floor, like, flopping around, and it's this, like, toy tank.
Yeah.
That's, like, not worth anything, and it went over his ankle or whatever, and I died laughing because it was really funny. Woo!
If they bring up Adam Cole to the main roster by himself, it's stupid and pointless.
I'll talk about that in a minute.
Okay, yeah, well, I'll talk about it in a second.
I'm going to talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to talk about that in a second because I got ideas. Many, many ideas. So, we then get Johnny Gargano versus Isaiah Swerve Scott. Again, this is another, like, they did a thing last week where they, like, beat each other up backstage. And then that's what this is for. But it's another match that I just didn't really care about. You know, it was, like, good. It was, like, fine or whatever. But at this point in time on this show, they had another match on AEW that I cared about more, so I paid more attention to that.
Yes.
So, this is, like, a fine match. Like, whatever. Gargano won. Are we shocked by that? No. So, yeah. What
Still
else?
not a fan of the Robert Stone thing. I don't mind the Robert Stone thing. They just need to do something with it. Like, he's got to have someone come into his stable, and he's got to, like, if they're going to have him be a manager, he's got to bring someone in.
They gotta do something. Because
Yeah.
right now, it's kind of a joke. And I mean, maybe that's what it's supposed to be. It's just supposed to be a joke, and nobody's supposed to take it seriously whatsoever. But it's like, it's a joke and nobody cares, you know?
Yeah.
So we then get a Tegan and Aew video. They're fighting each other next week. It's for the women's championship. So that should be a good match.
Yes, definitely.
Should be the main event of next week.
Probably.
English words speaking? Huh? Never heard of it. That should be the main event for next week's show, I would imagine. If it's not, it should be, but whatever. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we then get Escobar, Joaquin Wilde, and Raul Mendoza versus Maverick and Breezango. And what are they called? Like something Phantasma? Legend of I don't know what they're called. They have a name, but I didn't write it down. So yeah, they won. Escobar, Wilde, and Mendoza. I like them as a team. I think they have a lot of potential to be, if they get rid of the Undisputed Era in NXT, if they get rid of the Undisputed Era in NXT,
the clueless one, it's just a flying visit.
if they get rid of Undisputed Era in NXT, I think this team here could kind of be built up as their new sort of like bad guy faction in NXT.
Yeah.
If that's what they're trying to do, and they're going to move Undisputed Era off the show.
Yeah, I mean, if that's the plan, I could see this group being the one that's going to step up and be kind of the bad guy faction.
Because I feel like they've really been built up very well, and I like what they're doing. And they're very talented people. And Wilde really wasn't doing anything before this, and Mendoza wasn't really doing anything before this. And so this is like a huge, break for them. So, yeah. I like it. I like what they're doing. I like what they're doing with Maverick. Not necessarily him losing, but I like this sort of feud they have going on here. I can't wait to see when Maverick gets his Cruiserweight Championship opportunity, because I feel like that's coming. I mean, once he wins a match or whatever.
Yeah,
I think that he'll go after the championship, the Cruiserweight Championship.
Yes.
And I think that would make a lot of sense. So, yeah. After this, we get the returning Mercedes Martinez versus Santana Garrett. I like Mercedes Martinez a lot. I think she has this quality to her that's different than a lot of the women that they have on that roster. She kind of, to me, they moved Shayna off the show, and I'm not saying in any way, shape, or form that she's like Shayna, but she has the presence of, like, what Shayna brought to the show, you know? Like, being the bad guy, or whatever. Kind of that just, like, vibe of, like, I don't care, I'm going to rip your face off type of a situation. She kind of brings that vibe, and I think she could kind of fill that position of what I think NXT needs for their women's division right now would be somebody like that, because they lost Shayna. So I'm excited to see what she's gonna do.
Yeah, I agree. I think she kind of reminds me of Shayna.
She does.
They
were. Shayna and Martinez were a team on Stardom. Yep.
I think that it's one of those things they're gonna have to build up a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. But she just right off the bat with her look and everything about her just screams this, you know, Shayna Baszler-esque type of a character.
Yeah.
You know, where she just doesn't care. She's gonna do whatever it takes to kind of get ahead. And, you know, like that's just kind of the vibe you get from her. Not necessarily a bad guy, but I don't know.
Yeah.
So.
Bring Shayna Baszler and Bianca Belair back to NXT. They need to.
Because they're not doing anything because Shayna Baszler's on freaking main event. And so is Bianca Belair.
Yeah.
So stupid. Her new look is amazing. I love her gear. It gives me Jimmy Havoc vibes. Yeah. Everything about her is just, she's got, like I said, she's got such a different, you know, vibe than a lot of the women that are on the roster. And I think she's going to be one of their top women in the coming weeks. I really do. Now, she was fighting Santana Garrett tonight, and, like, whatever. Santana Garrett, I don't think she's that good. She's not really anything special on the roster. So, yeah, whatever. Speaking of Shayna, she just joined Bianca in main event. Lol. Yeah. Yeah, Bianca, she was moved up. Okay, well, she was supposed to be, used in the Street Profits stuff. She was supposed to be working with the Street Profits, and then they were like, oh, well, we're taking the Street Profits in a different direction, and we're going to make them more goofy, and so we don't want her being used in that type of a, you know.
Good night, Colin.
In that type of a way. So they were like, you know what? Let's just not use her at all, and let's just put her on main event, because she doesn't fit in with the Street Profits, and that's apparently all we can do with her, so forget, you know, her working in the women's division by herself. Like, that'd be a stupid idea. Dumb.
Keep that thought in mind, John. We can talk about that at the end of when we're done with AEW and NXT.
So, yes. Good match. I think Mercedes Martinez has bright things in her future.
Hello, J5555.
Hi. Welcome to the chat. Peace out, Colin. We then have next week Aew and Tegan. They kind of went over that again. They're fighting each other. And we're also getting Damian Priest versus Cameron Grimes. Can't wait. So excited. My two favorite superstars on the NXT roster are fighting each other next week. It's going to be a star-studded match, and I just can't wait.
In fact, you'll love it so much you'll watch it 19 times.
Pretty much. Yep. I'm so excited.
At least.
I'm so excited. You have no idea how excited I am. I'm oozing excitement.
Yes.
Can you feel it through the screen? The excitement is real. It really is. I'm just oozing excitement.
I can feel the excitement.
It really is just radiating. It's just everywhere.
Do y'all think they combine the NXT titles? Because I heard they're making a new design. They need to. If they do, it just proves they've been listening to me.
I don't think they need to put the two titles together. Honestly, I think of the brands, their titles have been done the best. I like the North American Championship and I like the NXT Championship because when you bring in one belt and you have all those guys on the NXT roster, nobody's going to get anywhere. Not at all. Like, you have one belt, the NXT title or whatever you want to call it. If you do one belt, you will not have guys like Lee and Cole in the same position at the same time of being your top guys. It's going to be one or the other. And that's the way it's going to be because WWE just, they're stupid. And they don't know how to book anybody if they don't have a title. And so, right now, like, there will not be another dude like Keith Lee and
Cody,
getting
like
the momentum that he
title.
has. Like,
Janelle, she is very excited for their match.
very excited.
She's a Priest and Grimes fan.
Yes.
She's actually got a shirt that's being made that says Priest and Grimes.
Says, totally. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep, it's happened. Yep.
Yes.
I'll be wearing it on the first night of never. It'll just sit in my closet.
Yes.
In a box where I cannot see it. Ever.
You'll put it, like, in, like, a framed, like, you know.
A secret place.
No, framed, like a picture.
Mm-hmm. And then I'm going to put that in a secret place.
Put it on your wall.
No, I'll put it in a secret place. Called the trash can.
Yeah, I know better.
What do y'all think of the U.S. title looks better than the world title? I hate it. I hate it. I don't like the way it looks at all. I don't like championship. It's so big. Championship is like written across the front of it, like right smack dab in the center. And it is so big, and I don't like it at all. And from afar, the eagle looks like an owl, and I don't like it. I think it's ugly.
I like it.
And I don't like it.
I thought it was cool. I heard they maybe change the design of other titles too.
Yeah, they're kind of just doing an overhaul. Let's hope they all
need to
don't
just get rid of
suck.
some titles more than just do a redesign.
I don't know about that.
Drop some of them.
But I don't know about that, but whatever. So we then get the main event. Adam Cole, baby, versus Bask in His Glory, for He is limitless. Keith Lee.
Yes.
This was, I mean, it was a good match. It was a good match. It was fine. It was great. It was great. Good match.
Guys, I had a terrible day. Well,
Oh,
I'm sorry to hear
that
about
sucks.
that, Justin.
Hopefully we can make it better.
Yes.
Yes. Because I've been told once or
You
twice.
can share with us later about your terrible day.
I've been told once or twice that I'm a funny person and that I can make people laugh. Apparently, supposedly.
And I'm
I
just
don't know
funny
about that.
looking, and I make people laugh.
So I don't know. So yeah, Lee and Cole, and I just okay. This was a good match. As many of you probably know, the finish of this match was leaked last week.
Yes.
Last Thursday.
Yeah.
Friday. Whatever it was, like after they had taped it. It was leaked by a member of the NXT roster. More specifically, one member of Indus Sheer. Cool. Epic. Thank you guys. We really appreciate that. So, yeah, they kind of messed up when they did that. And then there were rumors going around on whether or not they refilmed this match or if they had two endings. I never heard anything about there being two endings. I never saw anything about that. That's what really made this match, like, it made me care less about this match because you knew who was winning. Even if they had filmed two different endings, I don't know, I think they would have gone with Lee anyways. You know, I think Lee made the most sense to win this match from the get-go before they announced, before people spoiled things. So yeah, I don't know. Someone's just shooting off something.
Fireworks.
Fireworks. On July 8th, 4 days removed from the 4th of July, fireworks are over. Shut them down, please and thank you. Anyways. An NXT wrestler said on Twitter they did, but was told to take it down. Interesting. So yeah, I don't know. It made me care less about this match because you knew that Lee was winning.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Like I said, it was a good match, and it was, like, fine or whatever. But Lee won. So, epic.
Yeah.
He's now the North American and NXT champion.
Yes.
So, cool. After this.
We already knew who's going to win regardless of that spoiler. Well, we had an idea. They could have switched it up and like threw a curveball out there and had Cole win.
They could have, but I'm glad they didn't. I guess I'm a mark, because I don't care if it was leaked. I still enjoyed the match. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it was a bad match. It was still good. But I just enjoyed it less because I knew who was winning. You know?
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
It's like watching a football game and already knowing who wins.
Yeah, it's kind of like it doesn't really matter how you get there.
Yeah.
You know that they're the winner in the end. And it
Yeah.
just kind of sucks. It just ruins everything, you know?
Yeah.
It's just, spoilers suck. Don't be a jerk face and don't spread spoilers around.
That's right.
Things.
Don't spoil it for everybody else.
That's my PSA to all you fans out there. Don't be a jerk face. And
Don't be a jerk face.
Don't be a jerk face. I mean, it's simple. Just don't be a jerk face. You know?
Correct.
Cinderella was miles better than Jericho and Orange Cassidy. We're going to talk about them in a little bit. So now, Cross and Scarlett watch on after this is over, and they're just kind of like backstage, and Cross is like, you know, being all bad guy and stuff. And then they just walk off, and that's that. And we're left with Keith Lee and confetti. So that's great. So Adam Cole. What are we doing with Adam Cole? I've heard rumors that he's like leaving, like the company. I've heard rumors that he's not leaving the company. And I'm gonna start some rumors that he's moving to Raw.
That's a lot of rumors.
I think that he should move to Raw. Now this is what I think they should do. Everything was underwhelming on NXT. See, I think it was good, but I don't disagree with you.
I think the Lee Cole match would have been better for me if
you didn't know who was winning.
If it wasn't leaked, yeah.
Do you mean the Undisputed Era? Yeah, Undisputed Era. That's what I'm talking about. So
he's
going
to
AEW to wheelchair his girlfriend around. Oh man, that's funny. So I think.
Yes.
I don't remember him being one that said that he didn't want to go to the main roster. I don't remember that. I remember Ciampa saying that, but not Adam Cole.
Yeah, I don't remember Adam Cole saying it.
So I think with what the circumstances are right now, if he's not leaving the company, he really has done everything he can in NXT at this point in time. He and Undisputed Era, like all together, have done pretty much everything they can with NXT. They've been there for 72 years. They've literally held every championship. They've literally done everything they possibly could do. I think that it's time to send them over to Raw, and especially now with Raw having less superstars due to everything that's happening right now. I think it would just make sense to send them over there. So, how I would book it. You have this Ray and Rollins match at Extreme Rules. Either Ray is losing an eye or Seth Rollins is losing an eye. Personally,
for Ray it wouldn't be good because then he would have lost both eyes and be totally blind.
See, it's not, well, not necessarily, because the way they booked this, he would still have one eye because technically his eye didn't get, like, pulled out of his socket, and that's the way they're kind of booking this match, is you have to pull the person's eye out. And I don't know, okay. But that's how they're booking it. So, I mean, he would technically still have an eye. I just don't know if he could see out of it.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
They're going to screw up it Undisputed Era like they did with Sanity, only send half the team up. I wouldn't mind having them send up.
Nope.
If they were to make the move, only have Cole go first, and then he brings in the rest of them later.
Okay, that's the only way I'm okay with it. There's no way you can send part of them over and not leave the rest of them there. So, anyways. I think sending them to Raw would be smart. you have Extreme Rules, Rey Mysterio, and Seth Rollins. I think that Seth is going to win that. Honestly, I don't think Seth is losing an eye. I think he's going to put Rey Mysterio on the shelf, and I think Rey is going to be done after this is over. Or Dominic turns on him and helps Seth get the win or whatever. So, yes, we have that. So, Seth comes out of that feud fine, and he's like, oh, yeah, we're great. We're great. We're great. I don't know what happened to Austin Theory. Austin Theory's not around anymore.
He got the COVID.
Or there were some accusations about him. Don't know if they were true or not, but they might have taken care of him and been like, we're taking out the garbage. So, they also might have done that. Who knows? Anyways, I digress. We have that. He has Murphy. He has, himself. He needs a third member. I think it might potentially be Dominic because I think there might be a turn at Extreme Rules. Anyways, Undisputed Era. Where do they come in? I think with them, you move Cole, Fish, and O'Reilly over. That's what I think you do because O'Reilly's back. He's hanging out. He's like, whatevs. So you do that. And if not that, I mean, you could do Roddy, but whatever. So you do those three because they've been together for like ever. And then if you wanted to write Roddy off for now, they're playing out the whole Loomis thing. And so Dexter Loomis is like driving Roderick Strong crazy. And he's so paranoid about Dexter Loomis. And honestly, that would just be the downfall of the Undisputed Era. So Adam Cole could be like, you go hang out at home for now. Go take a vacation. Get your mind off of things because you're kind of being paranoid and you're kind of being crazy. And so, yeah. Or, hold up. That is perfect. Yep, perfect sense. Roderick Strong is he's been called the Messiah of the Backbreaker. I said this months ago. They could totally do it where he comes up with them. He ends up turning on the Undisputed Era and he joins Seth. That could be cool. I'd be down with that. There's a lot they could do with this. Or they just, bring the three of them up and then they feud with Seth and his group. And then it's like winner takes campus or whatever. Undisputed Era can beat him so Seth can go off into the sunset, hang out at home for a while, with Becky. And it'd be fine. And Undisputed Era can run house for a bit.
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool.
Did y'all know Loomis was in the Hardcore Justice TNA pay-per-view years ago? Skinny little kid with long hair. LOL, look it up. I'll have to check it out, Cody.
Yep. So yeah, that's what I think is gonna happen.
It would make sense for Rey Mysterio to win. Where do you want to sign a contract? I don't know that him winning, especially if he's going to retire.
He doesn't even have a contract with WWE right now. His contract ran out. So I don't know. I'm sorry, but Babyface Roddy was so bland. Keep the UE together. I don't necessarily know if when Roddy turns, he doesn't necessarily have. I mean, if he turns on Undisputed Era and like joins Seth, technically he wouldn't be a babyface. So
NXT was a little okay. Only 2 matches I enjoyed: Candice and Mia and Colton Lee. Yeah, I agree, James. I didn't think it was like anything special.
I get the feeling, man. I get the feeling. So yeah, that's what I would do with the Undisputed Era. What would you do with the Undisputed Era?
If Cole is staying, and the plan is to move him up, I would do him with the Seth thing. I
think it just makes the most sense. I really think it does. I don't know what you would do with him on SmackDown. There is not a faction on SmackDown.
What if they bring up, because Seth's probably going to leave for a while towards the end of the year.
He probably will, and I think writing him off with Undisputed Era would make sense.
Well, here's a thought. What if they bring in Cole and then have the Undisputed Era come up and side, not like right away, like in about a month or two, have them side with Seth, and then right before Seth leaves, then they turn on Seth and go back with Cole.
Yeah, I feel like it's a long.
Roddy stays.
I feel like it's a long-winded way just to get back to the Undisputed Era being on Raw, but whatever. I mean, whatever they do, I think it'll be interesting because the Undisputed Era is cool and they keep things.
Well, they can come up and go. You know what? We found, and we've kind of taken a backseat to you this whole time, and now we have an opportunity here. We have our Messiah that's gonna like lead us to the promised land.
Or maybe Adam Cole
And-
goes searching for the Messiah because he's like, I've lost my NXT belt and I don't know what to do with myself now. Help me.
Yeah,
And then he ultimately turns on him and takes him out, and he becomes the leader of the Messiahs because, well, why not?
in that case, they should just have the Fiend like suck him in. And...
I don't know. There's about 30,000
So
different...
is Undisputed Era getting called up?
I don't know. They might be. They also might not be. Who knows? We don't know. I mean, I guess it's just a matter of, well, I guess we'll have to see. I think my idea of bringing them up and having them feud with the Messiah makes a whole lot of sense, and I think it would be cool.
I like my idea.
I like my idea because
Yeah.
it ends with Rey Mysterio being retired, you know, because he's been thrown into buildings, he's been thrown off of buildings, and he's been thrown in buildings, and he's had his eye stabbed out, you know, also, so that just sucks. So he's just kind of had a rough life, so I think it's just time for him to
I
retire.
haven't touched main roster yet, and we're already thinking of a breakup angle.
I think Ray just needs to retire at this point, and so, you know, Seth being like, oh, I'm gonna stab out your other eye, and then that leads to Dominic joining him, and then it leads to the Undisputed Era coming up and being
Not
like,
this again.
haha, we're gonna challenge you. I think it's just brilliant, and I think
I had the breakup angle, but I had them going back together.
I don't have them breaking up at all. I mean, I said that was an idea, but the first idea that I had, the main idea that we're trying to focus on here, is Seth and the Messiahs versus Undisputed Era.
Zandel just wants Cole on SmackDown just to feud with Daniel Bryan.
See, but Daniel Bryan isn't even on SmackDown right now, so that would just suck. I'm here to feud with Daniel Bryan, and then he gets the memo, Daniel Bryan isn't here, and he's not going to be coming in for a long time. Crap! Why did I sign with SmackDown?
Yeah.
Why did I not go to Raw?
Ray will win or Dominic will turn heel. Yeah, I could see.
I see Dominic turning
I see Dominic
heel,
turning heel.
and then that being what causes Ray to lose. Because Dominic is like, I'm going to stab your eye out instead, Dad. Stab, stab. And then Seth is like, give me a hug. And then they'll be all like,
Well, that would probably mean that Ray is not retiring then.
no, but I think it would mean that Ray is retiring because, gee, Maven, that impression just killed me. But it's pretty legit, though. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's what I think is going to happen. Dominic is joining, this has nothing to do with NXT whatsoever. Dominic is 100% joining Seth. He has to. And if he doesn't, I'm going to be sadly disappointed. So, he just has to win. Or Ray wins, but Dominic saves Seth. I mean, that too. Whatever. Dominic is joining Seth regardless of how it happens. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
And we all just need to be on the same page there. Because, yes. Okay, AEW time. Okay? That's right. It's time for AEW. This is another good show.
Yeah.
At the end, we'll compare it to last week's show and we'll pick, did we like Fyter Fest Night 1 or Fyter Fest Night 2? Real quick, we can do that with NXT. I much prefer Great American Bash Night 1 over Great American Bash Night 2.
I would agree.
Aew and Sasha killed it.
Sasha!
It was great. That was like such a high point for that show that, I don't know, it just, last week's Great American Bash was just better than this week's.
I agree.
So, yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, and Sasha!
Yeah, they were great. It was such a fun match. Next week, Fight for the Fallen is so stacked.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, dude. It is. It really is. So, we start the show. One other thing, real quick. I read this today, and all I could do was laugh. Apparently, Triple H said in an interview that Great American Bash was not counter-programming for AEW's Fyter Fest. They did not do that on purpose.
Yeah, they just did 2 nights of it at the last minute.
He said it wasn't counter-programming. And I was like, wait a minute, sir. Did you stop it right there?
Yeah.
We're not that stupid, okay?
What's up with NXT tag titles? Where are they?
They are on Imperium.
Well, you see, Zandel, they're in the same spot that all tag titles are. They have been retired to, well, who knows?
They're on Imperium. And so I don't know where Imperium is at. So
yeah.
Anyways, AEW. Now we can get into it. You messed up my dad's eye and tried to take out my eye. Guess I better join you.
That's right. That way you make sure you keep your eyes.
Ah, dang. He's like, I want to be on the right side of history because I really don't want to lose any eyes. So I'm just gonna hang with Seth the Messiah because I won't be losing any eyes then. So, man, dang, that's hilarious.
The AEW tag division is
so stacked. It's so good. Okay, it's ridiculous.
Here it is. I 100% agree. They need to split Paige and Omega up.
Okay, well, our first match, Paige and Omega
not...
versus Private Party, and this is a tag team championship match. I agree and disagree. Do I think that Paige and Omega need to be together any longer? No. But do I still like them? Yes. Do I forget that Omega is the other half of the tag team champions? Yes, I do. I only ever remember that Adam Page is tag team champions. That's all I ever remember. He really is the shining star in that team, and I can't wait for him to go after the TNT championship because I think that he could win it, and he could be a big deal. I mean, he already is a big deal because he's Adam Page, and he's just great. But I can't wait to see him go after a singles title.
Yeah, that's what I said.
They are losing the titles to the Young Bucks.
They need to split up Paige and Omega.
I think they're losing the titles to the Young Bucks. I don't think they're going to lose them to FTR. I think that they're going to lose them to Young Bucks, and then it'll be Young Bucks versus FTR for the tag team championships.
I think they're waiting for the crowd to do the split angle with Paige and Omega. They might be waiting a long time in it for it.
I think they're gonna drop the titles to Young Bucks, and then it'll be Young Bucks versus FTR for the championships. And FTR wins.
I mean, I can see that. I just think that Paige and Omega.
Because I don't know who else they should drop the tag team titles to.
Paige and Omega just need to split up, just because.
They aren't needed as a tag team anymore, and I agree with you on that. They don't need to be a tag team at this point. They don't need to have the belts,
well,
but
I understand why they did it originally, but they don't need it now. Because originally when they did it, they didn't have a lot of tag teams. I mean, and now it's kind of built up, and now they're like set.
See, like I said, I agree and I disagree with you because, like I said, I think they're good together and they really do bounce off each other well. But at the same time, they're not. They don't need to be a tag team at this point in time because they do have a lot of tag teams in the division, and it's cool. And you know, Paige isn't doing any singles run right now because he's in this tag team, and Omega isn't doing any singles run stuff because he's in this tag team. That I'm kind of fine with. I don't necessarily want to see Omega go after a championship, you know, left and right, and I don't really want to see that. But I would be down to see Adam Page go after the TNT title or the AEW World title or whatever, because I think it would just be a fun feud with.
Do you think AEW, since they have Fight for the Fallen, do you think NXT will come up with a name? No.
No, I think they're just marketing next week as NXT, because then they really can't. NXT will probably bring some old WCW theme show back for next week. Yeah, they might, because they're stupid.
If they do, Cody will just wear a t-shirt and make it
But then they literally can't sit there and tell us that it's not counter-programming because it 100% is, because you've done it 3 weeks in a row and it is so obvious. So, like, shush with that nonsense. Like, stop. So, Paige and Omega versus Private Party for the Tag Team Championships. This is a good match. Enjoyed it. Private Party nearly died, like 3 times. It was so crazy. The buckshot lariat is amazing. Yes, I love Adam Page. He's great. Omega's fine too. Private Party is a great tag team. I really like Matt Hardy paired with them. I think it's kind of a random pairing, but it works, and I really like it because Matt kind of has that sort of, you know, he's been in the business for a long time, and he knows a lot about tag team wrestling, and I think it's cool that you know, he's doing this, and I think it's a good spot for him because I think before this they were doing the Sammy thing, weren't they? The Sammy Guevara thing with him, and you know, with everything that happened with Sammy's not around right now, so I think this is just a good spot for him while waiting for Guevara to come back. Yeah. You know, so yeah, cool. good match. Paige and Omega won. They retained the belts. I don't think anybody thought they were losing them to Private Party, but it was still a good match, and I did enjoy it. We then get Joey Janela versus Lance Archer. And Joey Janela had Sunny Kiss at ringside. So this is another fun match. It pretty much consisted of Lance Archer killing Joey Janela. Yep.
Which is okay.
That's pretty much what this was.
And
yep, I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I think this is what they should be doing with Lance Archer because I think this is what they should be doing with Lance Archer. I think bringing him in and doing the Cody feud right off the bat, I think that was fine, but what I did not like was that it was for the championship. I did not want the belt to be put on him, but I also did not think that he should have lost that match. I think he should have won it, and that's the way it should have been. But it's not what happened. It was for the title, and he lost. Didn't like that. So, yeah.
Well, if they would have done this right, they could have built up a Lance Archer, Brian Cage
they could have.
down the road.
They could have left both of them undefeated and then been like, well, these are the two, top wrestlers that we have right now, the two top undefeated wrestlers, and they're going to go head-to-head and, see who is the best or whatever.
Yeah.
They could have done something like that, and they didn't, which kind of sucks. But, it is what it is. So, Lance Archer won. I would not be shocked if we're going to see a Lance Archer and Sunny Kiss match to continue this. Because Sunny Kiss and Joey Janela are kind of a team now.
Yeah.
So, I'd be down with that. I think it'd be cool. Lance Archer will win. But it'll be a good match. It'll be another, rip this dude's head off.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Cool. Liked it. Epic.
Yeah, I liked it too. I mean, it's expected. So.
We then have a Darby Allin video. This dude is nuts.
Well, he's nuts, but I'm beginning to think he's not legitimately hurt.
Really?
Yeah.
What? I had no idea he wasn't legitimately
Well, dude,
hurt.
the way he jumped off of that and broke the skateboard and the ladder.
What?
I
mean, I think he was hurt at first. He might have jacked up his knee. Jammed it.
So my question is why are they doing this angle?
Because I think, if we just in the back of our brains, if we would just remember to, all in, out, in.
The whole I haven't been cleared
double
yet.
or nothing, double or nothing. That's what the pay-per-view was. Haha. Cage is the one that, killed him in the very end. Threw him off the ladder. Darby was gonna win that match. Cage was like, I don't think so. I think he's getting involved in the Moxley and Cage match, and I think he's going to cost Cage the match. And then, I think it's going to be Darby Allin versus Brian Cage. Yeah, that's what I think it's going to be. I don't know where they go from there. But that's what I think they're doing.
Well,
I think Darby Allin is going to cost Brian Cage his match against Moxley next week. So then you don't necessarily have Brian Cage look weak losing to Jon Moxley, but you also don't have Jon Moxley beat Brian Cage, because I think that's a stupid way to bring him in, is to just have him get beat by Jon Moxley. I think that is dumb. Dumb. But whatever.
I'm glad we're going to see Mox next week, though.
Hopefully.
Yes.
Hopefully we're seeing Moxley next week. Hopefully.
As long as he hasn't gotten sick.
Hopefully. So after this, we get Taz and Brian Cage. Taz?
Does Moxley still have an eye patch?
No, he does not. So Taz has an announcement. He crowns Brian Cage the FTW champion.
There was a women's match, James.
The FTW
There's actually
champion.
2 women's segments.
Now, I had no idea what the FTW championship was. I had no clue. I had to look it up. I was like, oh, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But I had no idea what it was at first. I was like, okay. It said Taz on the belt, so I assumed it was his. But I had no idea what it stood for. No idea what it is. So it's the FTW Championship. Brian Cage is the FTW champion. backstory. In ECW, when Taz could not compete for the ECW Championship, he made that belt and claimed he was the FTW champion, and that was that.
Belt from 98 ECW, yes.
So, that was that. Cool. It's a cool idea. It's a cool idea.
I thought it was interesting.
And I think that, giving it to Brian Cage, I think it just, I don't know. I think it's cool.
Yeah.
So.
I agree.
Whatever. Cool. I'm curious to see what they do with it.
Yeah, I mean, what
if he, defends it or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows?
Yeah, I mean, it was a good twist. I think it's something that, they threw out there that
nobody was expecting.
Yeah, and I think it'll make it interesting.
Also, Taz is very good at what he does. I feel like I say this every time Taz is on TV, but dude, he cuts a mean promo. He really does. He's such a good manager, and he's just so good. He really is. Like, there's no way around it.
No.
Like, he's just still so good at what he does. And I think it's great.
You don't think Brian Cage gets the title?
I just think it's great.
I don't know. We'll see. I think that it depends on where they want to go with the character and what they're going to do with... I mean, obviously, Darby Allin's going to get involved somehow.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm.
I remember Taz being good back then because I hated him as a kid. Question, why only segments and not 9? They had one women's match.
They did.
And then they had a segment.
See, okay, I'll talk about the women in a second.
They had 2 segments and 1 match.
So technically they had 3.
Yeah.
But I'll talk about the women in a minute. So after this, we get FTR and the Young Bucks versus Butcher and Blade and Lucha Bros. This match was so good. Dude, their tag team division is stacked. I cannot stress that enough. They're just so good. Their tag teams are just so good. And I loved everything about this match because it was just the blending of the styles of all of them. FTR is this team that's like, we're just old school. We want the old school stuff. Young Bucks are like, no. We're doing the flippy dippy stuff, okay? Butcher and Blade, I've come to realize that they're kind of just brawlers. They kind of just want to beat the crap out of you. They do have some, different, more technical moves, type of stuff. But majority of the time, they're just like fists. Let's just beat some people up. And then you have the Lucha Bros, and they're like Lucha dudes, So, you throw all of that into a blender, and then you mix it a little bit, but not too much, because you don't want to lose all of the different flavors, and it's just perfect. Literally perfection. This was so good, and I really freaking enjoyed this.
We're throwing wrestlers in the blender.
Not necessarily the wrestlers, but the wrestling styles. You just throw them all into the blender, and you mix it up just a little bit, but not too much. And, it's just perfect.
Yeah.
And I just love all of this. And I feel like the difference between AEW and WWE...
All right, the chill section. Awesome.
Sweet. Good to hear. I feel like the difference between AEW and WWE in their tag team divisions. AEW knows how to book tag team divisions. They have one of the best tag teams in the world kind of, helping run the company, right? And they know how to book a good tag team type of thing. Tag team wrestling, tag team storylines. They know how to do it. WWE does not. Also, AEW, like I said, has this, they have all these different styles. And they know how to, mesh them together to where it's, beautiful. WWE, I feel like a lot of their tag teams are all the same. All of them have a lot of the same type of styles, and so it's a lot of the same stuff over and over again, no matter what tag team you're looking at. Sure, they all have different things that are different, slightly, but 90% of the time, it's a lot of the same stuff, and a lot of the same moves in tag team matches, and a lot of the same sequences, and it just gets old. And I feel like with AEW and, the Young Bucks, or the Lucha Bros, or FTR, even, Butcher and Blade, and we got Private Party, and we got, Dark Order and SEU, and all these different teams, that they all have such different styles, and they are always changing things up, and they're not doing the same thing every night. And I think it's just refreshing. It's so refreshing. And I love it so much. Their tag team division is one of the best things about AEW. And it's one of my favorite things on the show. The tag team matches are always so great. And they always steal a show. And it's just amazing. WWE treats their wrestlers like robots. Everything is the same. That's why I think a lot of... And I'm just picking on the tag team division right now. Because we're talking about tag team wrestling. And I feel like it's really the case with the tag teams. It's all the same. There's nothing different about it. It's always like the same match, just, served slightly differently. It's a lot of the same sequences with the moves. It's a lot of the same stuff. And like I said, it just gets old. And AEW does not do that.
Well, no, because they let the wrestlers be the wrestlers.
I mean, I agree.
Be who they are.
I agree.
They don't try to mold them into something, goofy or stupid or anything like that. They just let them be who they are.
Which is great. Can we talk about how insane Rey Fenix is? Yes, the dude is insane. He literally, broke his butt at Double or Nothing. Flipping out the ring. And then he does, the same type of crap tonight. And you're like, ah! Dude! Ow! But, he got up from it and you're like, I would have died. So, he's just insane. Insane. And it's so enjoyable watching them. And it gets me so hyped up because they're just so great. And this match was so awesome. And I loved everything about it. So, Lucha Bros and Butcher and Blade won this. I think it's great.
Yes, it was a butt break.
Dude, I don't know if he legitimately broke his tailbone or what it was. But he was injured. And he wasn't able to compete in the ladder match. And it sucked. But it was dang, dude. Ow. He legitimately, landed on his butt. And I was like, ow, ow, ow. I felt that, ow. Yikes. So that happened a while ago, but he's back and he's better now. And it's great. So, yeah. I miss the Lucha Bros. They were gone for a bit. Phoenix, was injured. And Pentagon wasn't around. So, yeah. I thought it was great.
One thing I loved about the match is that the Young Bucks and FTR were doing each other's finishes.
I know!
Yeah.
I know! It's just, everything about it was just so good.
Yeah, I mean, overall it was a good match. I thought it was well done.
I really, really enjoyed this.
Even though I hate, matches like this. I mean, it was a good match. And it was just interesting because they showcased the different styles.
Exactly! It's perfection. Perfection.
Perfection?
Perfection.
Perfection.
Perfection. You knew what I was saying. Anyways.
Lucha Bros versus FTR should rule next.
It should!
Yes,
it should be so good. I love all this stuff. I also can't stress enough. I love the fact that I'm so glad that FTR signed with AEW. They are such a good fit. It's not even funny.
If AEW never come around, we'd be watching the same stuff week after week.
I know, man.
The thing I don't understand, here is one of the issues I have. A lot of people sit here and say you have to like one or the other. I don't think you have to like one or the other. You can like them both. Mm-hmm. A lot of people don't like what AEW does. Mm-hmm. I don't know why. Because they give you a little bit of everything.
Because I feel like some people are WWE marks, and they're like, no. I'm only watching WWE. WWE is the only thing that's right, and everything else is sucky, which is not a good mindset to have. I definitely have crapped on WWE. I mean, I think we all have. They do stupid things sometimes. I'm not saying everything they do is stupid, because it's not. Sometimes they have really great stuff on during the week. But then you have something like AEW, and it's also really good. And they also do some stuff that's kind of questionable, and you go, well, why did they do that? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I feel like that's just kind of with any promotion. And so, it's fun to see the differences between the shows because they are so very different. you know, and it's just nice to have these different options to watch. And so, you know, it's definitely not just one or the other. You can like everything, and it doesn't matter. It's cool. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's epic.
It's always good to see different variety of wrestling instead of watching like one thing.
Agreed.
Yeah, I agree.
100% agree. So, we then get Big Swole. Swole is walking to the building. She's all, you know, getting ready to come and fight, right? When Tony Schiavone, no, it wasn't Tony Schiavone. Who is it that was standing outside? It's the other dude. I don't remember what the other dude's name is.
Let's just call him the other dude.
Tony Schiavone, not Tony Schiavone.
Not Tony Schiavone.
The not Tony Schiavone. The other dude. I think his name is Alex. Is that his name? It also might not be Alex.
Yeah, I don't remember what his name is.
I don't know.
Let's just call him not Tony Schiavone.
Whatever. So he was outside and he's like, Swole, I'm afraid that I have to inform you that you've been served.
Good night, James.
You are suspended for kidnapping Dr. Britt Baker. So you are not allowed in the building.
We'll see you on Friday.
She's not allowed in the building. And she's like, what? I legit drove 3 hours to get to this show. And you're telling me, like, you couldn't have called me beforehand? Like, fine, I'm suspended, whatever. But you couldn't have called me or faxed me or you couldn't have done anything? You just, what? Can't believe you. And so then she walks off.
Hopefully your wife gets out soon, James.
How do you feel about Big Swole? I like her. I think she has a lot of charisma. I think she has a lot
She reminds me a lot of Bianca.
She does. She does. She kind of has that sort of, you know, sassy attitude, but not as much as Bianca, you know? She's sassy about things, but she's also like, I'm not afraid to, like, beat you up a little bit to kind of get my point across, you know? She really does. She's so good at what she does. And I really enjoy her stuff. I really do.
Well, I think the one thing is they've started using women more.
Yes.
So
after this, what killed me, there was a tweet. I'm going to find it. Tony Khan. Why do I not follow Tony Khan? Well, I'm following Tony Khan now. Alrighty then. He put out a tweet. And this killed me. Underneath, Chuck Taylor of Best Friends put out a tweet and said, also, while we're here, can you just tell her that call time is like 2 p.m.? She showed up at like 9 p.m. Because it was like dark when they had filmed it.
Yeah.
And she was like, I'm just showing up to the building and everything like that. And he puts out this tweet and is like, dude, call time is like 2. And she showed up at 9.
Yeah,
we should probably address that too. And I died laughing. It was hilarious, dude. The people in AEW are just like so genuinely funny. It's not even funny. Haha. I'm terrible. Horrible jokes.
Yeah, you're really funny.
I am. I'm a very funny person. So, yes, that was great. I laughed very hard for several minutes. I was like, that was really funny.
Yes.
So, that got me. That was a tweet that I was like, ha. Ha. So anyways, moving on. We then have Nyla Rose. Nyla Rose is in action, and she is fighting Jobber number 1 and Jobber number 2, Kenzie Page, and Killing King. Is that what her name was? I think that's what her name was. I could be wrong, though. They showed it up on the screen, and I knew who the one was because she's been on AEW before. Had no idea who the other person was. So I'm pretty sure that's her name, but whatever. Anyways, I digressed. Nyla won. I think Nyla was winning, and we all knew it. And there was no way around it, because she's great. She then announces that she has hired a manager. She's like, let's just take a look here. All the people that have championships in AEW have managers. Cody has Arn. I don't remember who the other person she said was.
I don't know.
Shoot. This is great. Cody has Arn. Who is the other one? Who is the other one? Ah!
Yeah, I don't remember who the other person was she said.
Who was the other one?
Is me already got way too many managers as late?
What?
I don't have a problem with managers.
Who is the other person?
And if you think about it, Arn hasn't even said that he's a manager. He said he's a coach.
Who is the other person? Arn and Cody. And why am I drawing a blank? Why?
I don't remember who the other one was.
What the heck?
But anyway, Nyla announces that she has hired a manager, but she won't tell us who it is yet.
So, Vicky Guerrero.
That's who I would say too.
I think that makes the most sense. Vicky Guerrero. I think she's going to be a good manager for Nyla Rose. She has... Other one. What do you mean? Yeah, other one. What do I mean? She said 2 people. She was like,
she said
people
2 people
with
had
championships.
managers, and she named off the manager who
She said something about, it was Cody and he has Arn and he's a champion. And then she said something else and said another person and they have a manager. And she was like, well, okay, they're not actually champion, but whatever, you know. And she said it was something along the lines of that. I can't freaking remember what she said. This is so annoying. What did she say? Good grief. I'm drawing a literal
I don't know.
blank.
If you put it in your notes, you'd know.
I was told to take less notes.
Taz.
So,
Did she say Taz?
Taz and Brian Cage. That's who it was. She was like, and Taz and Brian Cage shows up, and he hasn't even fought for a championship yet, but poof, he's got a belt. There it is. That's what it was. That's the remark that it was. Thank you.
Look, Zandel saved you.
Thank you. You saved my butt, man. Because I was really looking like a fool. Because I couldn't remember this. That's it. That was it.
As long
So
as Vicky
anyways,
doesn't do the crazy stuff.
Vicky Guerrero's going to run her mouth. She's going to be all like, excuse me! And it's going to be great. And it's going to be annoying. And it's going to be great. It's been a long time since we've seen Vicky Guerrero on TV, like, in a manager role. And I think it's going to be really fun.
I think so too. I think it's gonna add to the whole Nyla Rose thing.
Because she has so much personality on her own, and I feel like Nyla has a lot of personality too, and so I think it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Very excited. So Vicky Guerrero would be my choice on who they're bringing, who's gonna be her manager.
Yes, I think so.
After this, we have Dark Order and Colt Cabana versus SCU. So before this, we're backstage, and they are showing Colt Cabana on a medical table. Dude, if that was real, Colt Cabana had like a bruise like all the way up his side. It was like so purple and so huge, it's not even funny.
Yeah.
If it was real, that was nasty.
It was nasty looking, yeah.
It was. Like I said, if it was real and it wasn't like done up with makeup, then that was a nasty looking bruise. It looked pretty real to me.
Wait, Colt is in Dark Order now. I think we're headed that way.
It was
not
nasty.
Officially.
But kind of. So Dark Order and Colt Cabana are working together and they're fighting SCU, and this was another good match. Another match that I enjoyed. Colt Cabana got the pin for them after Brody Lee like kicked a dude's face off. So that was fun.
Yes.
Colt Cabana got the pin. This is like his 2nd win in a row working with Dark Order because he hasn't really been winning much, and he was like, well, I'm gonna work with them and see if I like can win some things with their help.
He wasn't winning in the NWA, so
maybe the answer was Dark Order.
Just needed the Dark Order.
Dang. So, next week, we are getting Cody Open Challenge. I'm really excited to see who it might be. Who do you think it might be for an Open Challenge for the TNT Championship?
I don't know.
I feel like there's a lot of different people that it could be.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who those.
Because I feel like there's a lot of, like, free agents and a lot of not free agents. So
Vicky Guerrero and Nyla Rose mesh well together. I think they will too.
So, yeah. Cody Open Challenge for the TNT Championship next week. FTR versus the Lucha Bros. Also going to be epic. The Elite versus Jurassic Express. The Elite is consisting of Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. And then Moxley versus Cage is happening next week. I think they got a stacked card thus far for next week, and I think it's going to be great.
How you doing, Wolf Fetchini? Who had the better show tonight?
AEW.
I would say AEW.
100% agree with that.
Yeah.
AEW. So next week's show is looking pretty good.
Yeah, next week's AEW is looking really good.
So we then get Baker and Swole. Swole shows up. She's got a mask on. She's got a hat on. She's got a jacket on. She's kind of like, you know, hiding herself. And she shows up, and Baker's sitting there, and Reba's standing in front, and she's all like, no, you're not going to get near her. And Swole has the paper, you know, with the letter on it. It's like, you're suspended. and she balls it up and throws it at Reba, and it bounces off of Reba, doesn't even hit Britt Baker, and Britt Baker's like, ah, my nose, my nose. I was dying.
That's funny.
It didn't even touch her.
I think AEW is going to win next week. I would agree.
It just killed me, man. If AEW doesn't win this week, I'm going to be shocked. Because I don't understand how.
Well, I think
NXT
the big issue is you have a lot of, like, WWE
win
faithful
the
that don't
ratings.
care about AEW.
I mean, I agree. But over the last 3 weeks, AEW has been squashed by NXT, and that hasn't been the case thus far. And I feel like with the fact that their main event was kind of spoiled, I feel like, how would they win this week? Because I feel like a lot of people would just be like,
yeah.
You know, because of what happened. So, whatever. Anyways, yeah, this was hilarious because it didn't even hit her, but she was all like, my nose, my nose. It just bounced off of Reba and hit the floor. Didn't even touch Baker, but I died laughing because it was so funny. Britt Baker's another one that's so good at what she does. And Big Swole, again, both of them have a lot of personality. And even though Reba technically, I guess she really isn't on the roster, she's just kind of hanging out. She also has a lot of personality. She really does. She's done a lot for these segments, and you know, being Britt Baker's assistant and all of this stuff, it really has added to it. So all of this has been really fun. It's all been super enjoyable. And like with the women's division, I don't necessarily think that, you know, they can have like one match on the show and be fine because they have all these other little segments in between that I think are really funny and that are really showcasing, you know, their abilities outside of wrestling, which I think is good. And also they're working with a very limited women's division right now with, you know, everything that's happening. They only have so many people that they can use. And so it is what it is. And I'm cool with what they're doing with their women's division because I think it's working really well.
Yeah.
So, yeah. We then have the main event. Orange Cassidy versus Le Champion, Chris Jericho.
I thought this was a good match.
I did too. I thought it was good. Floyd the baseball bat ends up interfering, and that kind of causes Jericho to win.
Yeah.
The one thing I will say about this that I was not a fan of was that Trent's mom was not anywhere to be seen. Trent's mom did not drive Orange Cassidy to the ring. Trent's mom did not drive best friends to the ring with Orange Cassidy. I was a little disappointed.
Because she wanted to stay home.
Because Trent's mom was the star of the show last week. This was pre-taped. Trent's mom was the star of the show last week.
Well, she wanted to stay away from COVID.
And I don't know. I think she should be on the roster full time. I'm just saying. I'd be down to see, Trent's mom driving best friends and Orange Cassidy to the ring every week. I'd be down with it, okay?
James, I think that the women's division here at AEW, I think that they're slowly building it up. They've come a long ways from where they were before.
I'd be down.
I think that they are doing a good job. They've kind of built up, you know, Britt Baker.
Mm-hmm.
They've got Squall coming in and starting to do her thing. They got Nyla Rose. I think that they're starting to build the women's division. I think one of the issues they had before was they had people that they couldn't just throw out there and say, okay, here's our women's division. Britt Baker before, outside of when she turned like her promos were terrible.
They were god awful.
And where she's come from where, you know, early on,
she is leaps and bounds ahead.
She's like so much farther along.
So much.
So I think, and even like Penelope Ford, I was impressed with her last week. So the women's division,
they're doing really well.
It's starting to come along, and I think AEW's done a good job rather than just throw them out there and say, okay, here, this is our division. We're going to throw them out there every week and have people get turned away from it because they're not good. I think they've slowly built it up, and I think it's starting to get better.
Yeah.
By the way, we'll see you, James.
So, dang.
I thought it was a good night. I thought AEW did a good job. I like the whole Orange Cassidy Jericho thing. I think that we'll probably see something else out of Orange Cassidy and Jericho.
Yes.
which is not a bad thing because I think that Jericho will help get over Orange Cassidy.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean that's I think that's where we're headed with that.
Triple H put out a tweet after the show was over with Great American Bash, and it's a couple photos of him and Adam Cole, and he says, there is a saying, it's the talent that makes the title. During his 403-day reign over the black and gold brand, Adam Cole made the NXT Championship the championship. That reign might be over, but he's just getting started. Adam Cole is #WWE NXT, and that is undisputed. So I don't know. Man. I don't know.
And next week he announces he's leaving and going to AEW.
Dang.
Just kidding. All right, that was the show.
Yeah.
If anybody else has anything else they want to talk about, then let me know.
It was good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Yes.
Dang. Brandy Rhodes put out a tweet. She said, I do not agree with the Big Swole suspension. Just want to put that out there. Britt Baker retweeted that and said, I don't agree with you being allowed in a wrestling ring. But here we are. Dang. Savage. That's hilarious.
All right. I think we are done.
I think so.
We will see you. Oh, Jonelle, what was it you wanted me to... I said, remind me later and I'll...
Something about TikTok? Somebody trying to shut down TikTok?
Oh, yeah. About, the president trying to shut down TikTok. Actually,
Why?
Our government trying to shut down TikTok.
Why?
Because they see it as a Chinese, well, probably because TikTok is the ones that kind of bought up all the tickets and things. If y'all watch Impact, it's featuring Kylie Ray. She has a chance to win the Knockouts title. Cool. All right. I think we're going to take off. We will see you
Friday.
I had to think of what day it was today. See you on Friday. He's trying to shut down a lot of Chinese apps here in the USA. He's trying to do a lot of things, Zando.
That are not good. He should listen to my words of advice.
We could have been out of this whole
called
COVID
Don't Be a
mess
Jerk Face.
And been
Or jerkwad.
Putting out small fires right now instead of having 130,000 plus people dead. We could have been putting out small fires now and had it under control. And can we talk about a certain man getting rid of TikTok in the USA? Yeah, he's. I think that the whole idea behind him is the stuff he's doing is ridiculous. He's not thinking about the people of the United States. He's more about himself, and that's all that matters to him. Today, the CDC had guidelines. Oh my God! I hope it's a joke. Kanye West says he's running for president. Please don't. Yeah. He hasn't officially put in paperwork yet, so I don't know if he's being real about that or not. He did say that he is not supporting Trump anymore.
Ooh, good for him.
So, today the CDC had put out guidelines for reopening schools, and then today they come out and say, well, we'll have an updated version of that tomorrow or next week. I think it was next week. Okay, so you let the orange man change your thoughts? Really?
Orange man?
You guys are the scientists behind all of this, and you're gonna let some clown that slept in a Holiday Inn, apparently, because he's a genius at everything now. He's a rocket scientist. He's a doctor. He's everything. And so I don't understand it. So the website, can you see your information and the stuff that you put up there, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, or Instagram? That's just it. I mean, that's just stupid. Do you think it will be allowed on school? Because I want to be on campus when school starts. It depends on where you're at. I think right now, anybody that's sensible will not be going to school till we get this under control.
Especially in those hot spots, which are
well,
I understand that, but a lot of the bigger areas where there are bigger schools that are, huge universities Alabama and Texas or whatever the heck it
I'm
is.
moving to Arkansas for college.
Arizona. All these places that have these huge, cases. It'd be stupid to open and do these, campuses and stuff. Like in these huge towns.
Well, the whole idea behind what he's doing is like, like I said, this could have all been controlled. Every other country outside of Brazil and the Soviet Union have handled this, have squashed this, and now have a position where they can put out fires where it's necessary. We have let this grow. We didn't do anything to stop it. It wasn't a national thing. We said, hey, each one of you states do your own thing. Well, we travel here in the United States. So guess what? If I travel to Florida and get it, I now bring it back to my state, which is stupid. They should have had a national,
lockdown, shutdown
thing. A whole national thing should have been done, and it wasn't. I know Texas might not be when school starts. And today I saw where the Ivy League is not having football until spring. So where they're going to go with that? I think if you have school, especially if a lot of these places open, I figure Florida's going to open up schools because they have a clown running. There's a clown running Florida.
A clown, a clown, a clown, a clown.
And so
clown,
when you have that happening, it makes it dangerous.
Yeah.
Because they don't care about people. If they cared about people, this could have been done and over. Or if it wasn't done and over, we'd be coming out of it about now.
Yeah.
Well, I, for one, am scared to death. I mean, it's ridiculous.
I, for one, am never leaving my house again.
I don't understand why...
Unless I have to go to an infusion.
If they open schools up, there's going to be a lot of kids that are sick.
Mm-hmm.
My Chilliwack twin is not going back till this is over, and they are going to be homeschooled by my sister-in-law. That's what they need. I mean, that's, I think a lot of parents are going to do that. We already homeschool our kids, so the issue is I'm a teacher.
Yeah. Mrs. G said, Mr. Gleen is a teacher. I don't want him to go back. Yeah.
I think that sending people back to school is just dumb.
I would prefer not to get COVID.
You want to see huge outbreaks? I think one of the reasons kids, they talk about kids not getting this and not being able to spread it. I think one of the issues you have with that whole idea is when everything broke out, everything shut down. Schools were closed, everything was closed. So kids did not have a chance to spread this. Now send all kids back to school. Guess what I think will happen when everybody goes back to school?
No offense to children, but children are, snot-nosed and stuff, and they don't wash their hands, and they,
pick their nose.
Exactly. And I'm like, no, I'm good. So I'm good. I'm good. I'm really good. So.
The whole TikTok thing, the only reason he wants to close TikTok is because I think TikTok is where they got together to buy all the tickets in Tulsa. So he only had 6,000 of the 19,000 that he was planning on having there. So I think that's why the whole thing there. Texas is starting school online in Overzone. They have to. I mean, look what's happening with where they're at right now. Till they get this under control, they have to do it that way.
Yes. So.
How do you graduate, Maven?
Well, I have to. I'm not working in an accredited school right now, but there are accredited schools, and so you can get your diploma or whatever. I don't know the
Here's my thought with the whole
terms.
graduating thing.
I don't care if I walk. Let me just say, I don't care about walking across the stage. I really don't. I don't care about getting handed a diploma from somebody. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't make a difference. It really doesn't.
There are schools now that are starting to say, okay, we don't need ACT scores or SAT scores. Colleges that are saying they don't need ACT or SAT scores to get into it. So I would think that you almost don't necessarily need to graduate to necessarily have a diploma to show that, hey, I've graduated.
Although it's probably preferred.
Well, I mean, if you say I was homeschooled, I'm sure that because like I said, they're eliminating ACT. A lot of schools are eliminating ACT and SAT scores from even being looked at as.
Oh, it's been announced. Cody Rhodes is fighting Sonny Kiss.
People can't stay doing online
Next
school.
week.
You know what's crazy, Jono? My kids have done
I've been doing online school for
5 years?
Since
6 years?
6 years. 6 years? 6 years. 6 years. 6 years. That's how long I've been doing online school.
And as far as being social, I would say my kids in general
6.
are probably more social, better behaved than a lot of public school kids.
Yeah.
And this is coming from someone that actually teaches public school kids.
Yeah.
So.
It's really not that big of a deal doing school online at home. It really isn't. It's like, you just get your stuff done and then you can do whatever you want for the rest of the day, you know? I did online school for 2 years, but that's when I was having seizures for a while. Yeah, I don't know. Y'all are more socialized now with online stuff than you were when you were in physical school. Yeah, I don't know. It's fun. I don't, like, honestly, just, we don't have, like, me, can talk about school. I don't have, like, a huge, big, like, schedule and stuff of, like, stuff that I have to do per week. We work, like, we do school year round. And so I'm still working on school now, even though, like, technically it's, like, summer or whatever. We just work all year round, and then we divide that up so we don't have to do as much at once. And then I get done in September, and then I start the new school year. And so, I don't know. I have to work for, like, 2 hours a day or whatever on stuff, and then I get to do whatever else I want. Get to work on stuff for our streams. So it's pretty cool. I don't know, I much prefer it over going to actual school. So, I don't know. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yes.
So, yeah.
All right. Any other questions? Anything you guys want to throw out there? I like that better. That's kind of how China does school. Yeah. All right. We're going to take off. We'll be back Friday. SmackDown. We will see you guys on Friday. Everybody, peace out.